Ignore, welcome back to StarMade. So my mighty robot points to my Titan. It's unfinished, but we'll come back to that. Today we're going to do the fit out of our mighty robot. So here we are in the control center inside its head. And what we need to do is start to build the computers. Now, again, seasoned veterans of this game will, you'll be scratching your neck beard now, saying, "Yep, absolutely know what you're doing here." But for those that don't, basically you have to build a computer to control the items within the ship. So, for example, your weapon systems need your laser cannons and such like that need to be connected to a weapons computer. Your salvaging lasers need to be connected to a salvaging computer, and missiles to missile computers. Power control transfers to and so on. So that's basically how it works. So you see here, it's all the line from the green, that green line from the head is showing that these things are linked, and basically, what that computer will control those guns. So here we go, the finger of doom. So the amount of the depth, the width, and the breadth of your modules, your blocks, denotes how powerful it will be. So as you can see, I'm putting a whole line of laser cannons on. So this is a very powerful, punchy laser, and the same goes for salvage computers, salvage lasers as well. So if you make it more round, then it'll hit more of a punch. Its rate of fire, all of these things are key to it. So next one we're going to do is a salvage computer. Now, I'm a grown man. I've seen things in my life, but I'm at heart I think I'm still basically a great big child. So what I'm about to do, please forgive me. This is just, it was late. I was having a bit of fun. I'd just been sat having a laugh, reading some of the old stuff, and I just remember thinking, do you know what would be funny? Yeah, this is funny. Anyway, I'm gonna rise above it in the commentary. I mean, just particularly, picture this. I was giggling like a little girl when I did this, but yeah. So, so that's our salvage cannon taken care of. Probably could be placed better, but again, it's all about how the the things put together. I know I'm a big kid. I am an absolute big kid. What can I do about it? So there we go. We've got our weapons and we've got our salvaging capability in this robot now pretty much done. So what we need to do now is basically start to link them to the core. So while these items stand in isolation, you then need to link them to the core so that then you can actually use them. Now you do that again by selecting the core, then selecting the weapons. And it all then links together so that your weapon computer, as you see there, you can set them up really nicely. Now, one of the things that, so we go, test fire, test P, yeah, no, mature. And, so basically, this robot is pretty much getting there. What we do need to do though, and they kind of jumped forward when I did this, but I'm kind of keen to show you the internals of this as well, because we also need to plant cameras here. So here we go. So this is, that's, yeah, okay. We'll come back to that. You basically plant cameras on particular points where you want your view to go, because generally you look from the core, which isn't, in this case, is pointless because it's inside the head. The core does need to be protected as well, so you can't all, so you basically need these cameras to act as kind of additional cameras for for viewing. I know that sounds stupid, but it's obvious, I know, but don't forget that, because that's quite important. And have more than one, have quite a few, because they are quite useful. So here we go, inside the belly of the beast. We're just starting to put shield modules on, so you see my shields now going up on the HP bar. We've got some power supply reservoirs as well, those ones there. So we've got basically power, shield, and storage. So it's starting to take form. I'm a big stickler for light. I think the lighting in this game is very good. You do have different colors of light. I generally stick with the basic for the time being. I just find it's a bit easier. Access in and out of the robot is also done through doors. You actually have plex doors that you can basically interact with. And these plex doors basically open and close. Simple, I know, but so we go, putting a camera on his schnoz. As I say, we did kind of jump forward here, so I'm just showing you what I did. I wanted to give him a big, cheeky, broad smile, so I thought, why not? So I gave him that, and I thought, well, he doesn't look very happy, so there we go. He's happy now. Oh, God. Such a child. Anyway, so what we need to do now is then have a look at the lighting and such within the cockpit. Yeah, obvious joke pending. So basically lighting here as well. And now it's a bit cramped. I did build this robot small. on purpose, in fact, because I think this is going to be a prototype for a much bigger one. I love the idea of having this vertical kind of robot that just basically stomps across the stars. And again, I haven't really kind of tested on the planet yet. I'm looking forward to landing him on the planet. But I think there's probably a lot you could do. You could use turrets for the arms and the legs, maybe. So this thing would literally look like it's having a fit when pirates come and your AI turrets start flipping around and firing. That thought would be pretty funny. But I think all the way up to, you could have a ship. Imagine the ship the size of the Titan, as a robot, a freestanding robot. So that'd be pretty cool. I like the idea of it. For some reason, it just makes me smile. It reminds me of Galacticus. Didn't read comic books really as a kid, but I always remember having trading cards and top trumps and things like that. And I had the Marvel Action Heroes top trumps, and I always remember Galacticus was like 100, 100, 100, 100, 20 billion tons, weight, superpowers 100. And I always remember thinking, who the hell's this dude? Then I watched Silver Surfer, and basically it turned out to be a great big cloud, so a bit disappointed. But I've always kind of liked the idea of these massive sort of, almost kind of, continent-sized robots, landing on a planet, because I think that's probably what would happen. I think a spaceship wouldn't just get to orbit then stop and you'd take a shuttle and land. I think the spaceship technology by that point would be so good, you'd probably have a ship that would land on a planet and morph and change into something like a robot walker or an AT-AT or something like that. But anyway, that's just my crazed gibbering thoughts. Anyway, so let's put some light in the bowler hat. Love it. And I think, again, this is a tricky one. I know I should be using symmetry. I'm sure I'm being absolutely bombarded with people telling me use symmetry, but I think at the moment I'm not ready for it yet. I just want to try and build freeform at the moment. I know it makes no sense, but I think as you start to build the really big projects, that's when you'll need symmetry, I think. But at the moment, getting a bowler hat just right. I mean, it's not a symmetrical object, is a bowler hat. It should be a bit more let's say freeform. So I think that's why I'm hesitant to do it. But again, I think here it's kind of taking shape. There's two types of hulls as well. There's hardened hulls, and then there is normal hulls. And the space stations where you salvage all of this stuff don't have hardened hulls. You need to use the manufacturing process, which I've had a dabble with, but I got so bored with it I didn't bother. But it may be something we'll look at another time. But I think certainly this is this is just fine for now. With a good shield, you're pretty much impervious. Same with engines. So engines again should have a a kind of structure to them. Naturally, I'm making ARSE engines. That's just the way I am, and as you can see, that will provide a fair bit of thrust. I know I'm a big kid, but I don't know, it just makes me smile. So I think as it shapes up, I think this thing is starting to look pretty good. So again, let's just test the flight systems. Okay, so the more you've got, the faster you go, the more you can spin. And again, there is a configuration here. So if you just put in a long line or in a big block or a tall block or wide block, whatever it may be, it has different characteristics. So it's worth just bearing that in mind. So here we go, just installing some shield generators. Shield generators are probably critical because you do eventually come up against some pirates. Putting some light in. This is the front of my mighty beast. And I think I don't think you can ever have too many shields around that. So I think it's a funny one. Always take note of the power as well, because I think power is something that if you don't have enough of, you're going to have a bad day. So just make sure you've always got enough power. So here we go. So this is looking pretty good. So I'm just going to finish off his neck. Now I made the neck, the doors, the plex doors, basically because it's just a simple way to go from the cockpit to the body. Not ideal, but again, on a bigger, imagine this robot 10 times the size. You're going to have a whole kind of body to basically, go through. So let's go and test fire our cock cannon, and let's go and test fire our finger pointer. So here we go. So we're going to get, I think, PP cam. Yeah, childish. Again, I know. Finger cam, love it. So everything's looking pretty good. So everything seems to be firing. Everything seems to be peeing. So I think this is looking quite good now. I think the only issue I've got is I can't really dock this thing, so it's just a bit too big to dock to other ships. With a bit of manipulation I can probably do it, but again, we'll look at that another time. So here we go, fast forward, finger cam, so test firing on an asteroid. It's looking pretty good. He's basically pew-pewing that rock quite nicely. So let's go to PCAM. There we go. And let's slash our way through the rock. Absolutely childish and puerile, and you know, I mean, what am I doing? Seriously, this is wrong. But anyway, this is part of the game, and I think just there's something about this. I was literally in stitches with this bit, with the thought of a giant robot pissing an asteroid in half. Oh God, I can only apologize. If you've watched up to this point, I'm so sorry. So there we go. Our robot is done, and I think that's pretty much. I'm happy with the robot as it stands. As a prototype, it's pretty good. Now, just a word of warning: save all of your blueprints, so you don't have to obviously kind of track your ships. You can just save them as a blueprint, and then you can build them from scratch pretty much immediately. So, project successful. Next time we're going to continue building that wonderful Titan in front of us here. But I think in terms of today's project, I think our rape robot is done. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.